They'll be good.
Okay.
I doubt we'll really approach 90 on those.
Perfect. Hey, everybody. Welcome to This Probably Doesn't Matter. I am Luke Atkinson. Sitting across the desk from me, as usual, is my lovely wife, Katie.
Hello.
Hi, Katie. And with us today is the one, the only Brian DeShazo.
Special guest of the day.
Yes, that's you. You're here. Brian is let's like some credits here. You're a former sports writer.
Yeah.
You
Used to write for the
were-
Wenatchee World. And before that was a former pharmacy student.
Yes,
Was
former
almost a
pharmacy
pharmacist.
That's the other claim to fame from our guest.
Was nearly
among many, I
legally was nearly allowed to sell drugs to your kids.
Yeah, just about. Those good
What a way
pharmacists.
to introduce that. Perfect.
I think it's the best way to think about it. It's probably the most glaring reason why I'm not. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, sure. We
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
get to whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've known Brian most of my life, and we're happy to have you back on the
I was gonna
podcast.
say, from about high school
Episode
on,
number 2.
and
We're back to it.
Boom. Yep.
Yeah.
Back
That's
to
it.
the mic.
Nice. Love it. Starting directly in with news from
Yeah.
Denver, because I know you would be interested in this.
You've got some
This is my
news from
awesome
Denver.
transition. You like that?
yeah,
It was
absolutely. Just sweep it right
really
away.
Just terrible. So
Nope.
it's
Go for it.
legalizing mushrooms in Colorado is
Oh.
supposed to be on the ballot. Now I know you were reading this earlier today, Brian.
I
so what'd you get out of that? 'Cause
Well, I
didn't
got
click
out of
on
it that legalizing psilocybin is on the ballot in Colorado.
Yeah. Katie
That's
never
not
done
surprising.
mushrooms.
That's not surprising. Denver is
Great.
very like
Brian has done all the
hippie.
I'll wait.
Denver's very hippie.
It's hippie but democratic.
Yeah. well,
Very interesting.
It would take that. And I know anyone who follows the whole thing, like there's definitely being looked at some benefits to psilocybin from a mental health standpoint. I think there is possible treatment
I
stuff.
think
that's
there's
Well,
gonna
it's
great
the only
benefit
way-
from psilocybin that you could gain if you're using synthetic chemicals like SSRIs and
Sure.
SNRIs.
And I don't know much
So
Those are
medically,
things.
what does that do?
It could like depression or PTSD, right? Are they doing PTSD?
I think you can-
That's ecstasy that they're doing PTSD with.
But I feel like you could
Yes.
use mushrooms for PTSD patients.
It's the microdose thing, right? I mean, that's how you would have to go about it.
Yeah. It's because you're enabling more psilocybin to be in their brain at one time.
So
than
it's a
than you would
chemical
ordinarily. Yeah.
That your brain.
Especially if you're microdosing it, what you're trying to do is increase levels of psilocybin that are in your head just at all times.
Which is naturally occurring?
No, just serotonin.
Oh, sure.
You're trying
Same-
to increase serotonin levels.
Is it the same receptor?
I wouldn't say it's the same receptor, but it's gonna hit a lot of the same receptors that serotonin will.
Right. Right.
So
That's
if you
the
can,
giggle fits
if
and all
you
that.
can,
I get
well,
it, yeah.
if you can increase serotonin too, I think you can usually elevate mood in most people.
Yeah.
What's interesting is Denver is always sunny, so it's definitely not like a weather impacted.
Is Denver sunnier more days a year than here?
Yes.
In Wenatchee?
Okay.
It's
Really?
like 360 days a year.
Oh, wow.
Is what they claim to fame.
Yeah. Well, they say 300 days here, and that's bullshit because there's no way we get 300
There's
days of
absolutely
sunshine.
no way because there's 2 months a year where every single day is
Yeah.
fogged in.
Thing
Yeah.
is, winter in Denver is not fogged in. It's all clear.
And colder.
And
Right.
It's
even
gotta be colder for being
even
clear.
springtime, you get sun all morning, a 1 hour afternoon thunderstorm, and it's gone.
Yeah. That
So.
sounds tropical. That's
That was
almost how
what
it is
it,
like
that was what it
tropical.
was like the one time I was in and around Denver, but it was also the middle of July.
Well, isn't
so.
that the same thing
Yeah.
that happens on the islands? Is
Spring,
you're sunny
summer
all
is
day
like
and
that.
you get a 2-hour thunderstorm in the afternoon
Yeah.
and it's sunny
Yeah.
again.
Some kind of rain in the afternoon, and then it
Yeah.
returns to being
That's
really,
exactly
really
how
nice
Denver
weather
is.
by comparison.
Where's Denver's rain come from? Just the mountains?
It's
Yes.
coming over the
Oh,
Rockies.
mountains.
Those mountains are huge.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Yep.
been?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
I've
been.
seen.
You've
I mean,
been.
I know we've been to Denver. We went to Black Hawk and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's foothills ish.
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's in the mountains.
Black Hawk, you're getting
You're
pretty.
starting to
deep
get in there. It's
We need to go
this
up to,
cool
like-
little gambling town.
It's
just
like Vegas
randomly
in the mountain.
Rockies. Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
Wait, what town is this?
Blackhawk.
Blackhawk was what? Did we take an Uber there?
And it's in
No,
what
we
state?
had the car that day.
Oh, we rented a car. It's outside of Denver in Colorado.
It's in
In
Denver.
Colorado.
Yeah.
It's a cool little spot. You
I'll pull some
can, I
photos up.
think there were some Vegas casinos there. I think the big name casinos. I don't remember really. Played a couple hands of blackjack. Was really pretty hungover by the time we got there that day. So
I feel like the first trip I saw you take to Colorado was one of the starts of your foolishness for money trait.
Wait a minute. What? Say that again.
You taking money to swim the pond.
Oh, yep.
I feel like that trip to Colorado was one of the beginnings of at least what I saw as your foolishness for money trait.
Sure.
That's
So
what I
so
saw.
here's
Sad.
like a big casino.
Yeah.
just nestled into the Rocky Mountains.
Oh,
Pull up a different-
I like that.
That one's my photo. Let me pull up a different.
I feel like that could ruin what little bank account anyone has left.
That'd be a good time.
It's
It'd be
and
a
it's
fun place
actually
to
like
stay.
super affordable to stay.
Yeah, all the gambling towns. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. I was gonna say if they can keep you in town, then they know you'll be spending money there.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, Colorado,
super
psilocybin, with some possible. I think there's something there.
I was gonna
That's
say
what
I would
gonna
hope
say.
it moves the needle, and you would think that if Colorado moves the needle on it, then California is probably not far behind.
Right. And
Here
the
you go.
question,
And if
Katie's
California
showing
is
another
not
picture.
far behind, then
That's Blackhawk again.
how much is Nevada trying to make money off it, and then does Washington follow that because it's a liberal state?
I don't know that there's a
Following
lot of
after liberal policies shortly after.
money in. I don't know. Is there really that much money in the psilocybin mushroom game? Do you think? Do you think
Oh.
it would? It can't manifest the same way as like the pot shops did.
I feel like
You think there'd be mushroom shops like that?
Sure, I do, and I feel like psilocybin would be
Maybe.
the one thing where if people hadn't tried it before and it became legal,
Yeah.
that might be the one where some people would go, well, you know what? It's legal now, so I think I'll go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You
a-
could see that, right?
I mean, it would be the same people who said, "Well, it's legal now. I'm going to smoke pot." I don't think that's a huge number.
Right.
I don't think you really get a lot of new users when you legalize a drug.
Well, I don't think it's a sincerely huge number, but it's enough to make a difference.
It's just more common in the more public areas, especially.
Yeah.
You start getting it in cities like Denver or Portland or Seattle.
And Denver is such a hippie thing that of course they're going to wind up legalizing mushrooms.
I think
I don't know. I
I'd
think it's
like
going
to
to take a while.
I'd like to see it happen. Do you think it's going to succeed on this first
No.
vote, or do you think it's going to fail?
No, how many
No.
years in a row? I mean, wasn't pot on the ballot for 5, 6, 7 years? It's been on the
Oh,
ballot
I feel like it
lot
was
of
on the
times.
ballot more times than that.
Yeah. So it can't.
I think you get a lot of people on a board that want to do it, but you still get another half that's going to vote no on it.
Especially because I think mushrooms probably have a harder PR battle than pot does.
Could be.
Like, just as far as...
You definitely
Well, you
have
think you're
a
high on
wide
pot,
you
like,
have
I
a
can't even
wide array of
imagine.
what people can see on mushrooms that
Yeah.
can change their perception of what's real.
It's a lot closer to like a drug than...
Yeah,
than
it
pot
it
is.
feels like a drug.
Yeah, so... I don't know. And I wait, bless you, Brian, with breathless anticipation to see when the pot thing goes federally legal.
That'll be an interesting step. Do you think when it becomes federally legal, it'll be easier for an average person to like grow their own?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I think it'll probably take that to turn it into a tomato plant, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Portland, their rec law passed with plants. So you can
Yeah, I
grow
feel like
in-
Oregon is
well,
one
I'm
of the
saying
only.
Portland, yeah,
I
Oregon.
feel like Oregon is one of the only states that you can grow your own
Yeah.
cannabis as just a citizen of that state.
I also don't think you'd get busted doing it here.
How many states are legal now?
Great
Is it
question.
9 or 11?
For rec,
Yeah, for
there's
rec.
a handful East Coast and then us West Coast plus
Somebody
Alaska.
should be reaching for their
Yeah.
phone.
Okay.
Yours is behind you.
Okay. It's a good handful, and then a lot more on top of it that are medical.
Right.
So I don't know if it's really going to take half the states to make it federally legal or what.
There are
Both of you are on it. I can't type that fast. I assume
10 states.
okay, 10
Says-
that are recreational. I should honestly know these a little bit better. 10 that are recreational, and then it's got to be another 10
So
that
it's
are
got-
medical.
Washington.
Oh, no. There's like 25 that are medical. I
Medical
think.
plus the 10.
Yeah, I
Here's,
think plus 10 that are also recreational.
So we're 30. Oh, so we're 25 then. Those numbers are do they
No,
overlap?
I think they're in the 30s.
Okay. Well, then we were
Business
35.
Out Insider posted Washington, Oregon, Nevada, California, Alaska, Colorado,
Yep.
Minnesota,
East Coast. Oh.
Vermont, Massachusetts, and Maryland.
Perfect.
And then you got legalized in Montana, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, North Dakota, Minnesota, right?
These are
Missouri earlier.
I was going to say, are
Illinois.
these just medical?
These
Florida.
are the medical ones.
Because I feel like the ones that are fully legal, both medical
read them.
and recreational, are
She read them, yeah. Yeah, they're all there.
Washington. Yeah.
Yeah, we got them.
There's
we got
19,
10
19 medical.
Boom.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
And then 9 that are legalized for
Okay.
marijuana and
And
recreational.
Got it. Anyway,
And then there's some states that are fully illegal, and those states need to probably get with the times.
sure. I think there's going to be that just won't do it until it's federal.
Idaho,
There's gonna be plenty.
Texas, Wyoming.
Idaho, Texas.
Idaho,
would stick out
Texas,
to me.
Wyoming might.
Now,
they-
did Utah? Did you read Utah as medical? Utah did medical.
I'm not sure.
Yes,
Okay.
it did.
Okay,
I got it
perfect.
right here.
Katie's
I
got
got
it
it.
already.
Utah's medical.
Yes,
Yep.
Brian.
Only
Katie's literally
medical.
looking at the page. You're fine.
Only
I have a whole
medical.
map.
We got it.
Good.
This was updated March 26th.
Perfect.
Anyway, all that to say, the fight to legalize marijuana has been going on for a very, very long time, and I think that it'd be silly to think that psilocybin is just going to necessarily just get
I was going to
through.
say it's been 50 plus years on
Yeah.
marijuana prohibition. If cannabis or if psilocybin just walks through the door, that's going to be pretty surprising.
Yeah, it would be.
But it would also be a sign of how receptive people are to altered states of consciousness, I feel like.
Yeah, and then maybe people realizing that it's easy to write some of these things off early without knowing if there are positive benefits to that sort of
Right.
stuff. So,
Yeah.
Do you think there are enough positive benefits to psilocybin to legalize it?
yeah, I mean, I do. I think there are. It's not without some negative ones, or can be. More just from like a mental health standpoint, I would say that. I think if it's used as a treatment, it would probably have to be a pretty guided experience, and it would need to be pretty low dose, I think.
I was going to say, what would you say about a fully recreational psilocybin?
Yeah, I mean, my political stance says I don't care. It should be legal.
Right,
but-
everything. If you're an adult, everything should be legal anyways.
probably.
So what's this entire argument
Yeah,
about?
yeah, but I just like realistically, I don't. It's not. It can't happen soon. I think you got a better chance of getting ecstasy for treatment.
Really?
For medical. I think they're using ecstasy for some medical stuff.
Well, I know
mental
they're
health
using it
stuff
for some medical stuff,
that-
but you think you're
I think
you're
it's a lot
closer
more-
to acceptance socially on that
Yeah.
front?
You want to know why?
Yeah, why
It's
is
a
that?
pill.
Sure.
We love our pills.
People
this
do
is the good
people,
old US
people
of
do
A.
love their pills.
Yeah, it just. I think it's easier to sell.
I think it's why the state of Florida still exists, is that people love pills.
Yeah.
And people love pill mills, and there are a lot of those in Florida.
Otherwise, hey, here's a mushroom that makes you think you're dying. It can help your mental health. Like, that's going to be a tough argument.
It might be a tough sell, but it is true.
Sure. Totally. I get it. I'm there. I'm in there with you.
Just
Katie, what
in
you got?
terms of what?
So National Institute on Drug Abuse reports, I'm reading off of a blog.
Sure.
It says that there's new medical trials evaluating the drug's efficacy as a treatment for post-traumatic stress
Yep.
for anxiety
Yep.
in terminally ill patients or autistic adults.
I don't know why they get to have all the fun.
Well, as soon as you're terminally ill, it
Why?
sounds like you can sign right up.
Why do they get to have all the... I know, and they started with that for cannabis, but why do they get to have all the fun?
Well, you know.
They're not even going to live long enough to enjoy the benefits for it, so
You
why do
gotta
they
have
get
one
to
thing.
experience the...
You got to get one thing. You're dying. You just give one to the dying people.
I-
You're sounding really heartless right
No, I want the dying people to have it. and I want the living people to have it also. I don't know why the dying people get to have it all to themselves. They're not even going to live long enough to appreciate it.
I guess that's true. I could see ecstasy helping with
Ecstasy can
with anxiety or PTSD.
use
I
effects.
could see it being helpful for either of those two things.
Here's 3 things. It says producing more dopamine,
Yep.
Yeah, it does that.
increasing norepinephrine, which
Norepinephrine.
speeds up
Norepinephrine.
Got it. Yeah.
It's like adrenaline.
heart and blood pressure,
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
and then increasing production of serotonin,
Yep. It does all of those things.
including sexual arousal.
Yep.
It does that too. I promise you.
Number of negative effects is muscle cramps, nausea,
Yeah,
blurred
yeah,
vision,
yeah,
chills and sweating,
yeah,
irritability,
yeah,
depression, aggression.
yeah.
It's all those
Anxiety,
crashy
also
feelings
depression.
that no one really likes, but that happen with
That's
all the
on-
good
But what's
drugs.
so funny is you start listening to these drugs for
Yeah.
cancer and stuff, and it's like may cause death, may cause more cancer, may cause brain swelling, like all that stuff, and it's like,
right?
oh
these,
my
these are like may
God.
cause a good time.
Yes,
Like,
these
This
make
is like cause a
these
good
may cause a
time.
good time.
but
You
really
might
not
have
like,
fun.
not like bad, harsh effects to your body.
sure.
It might change your outlook on life for the better in the long term, and you might have an awesome, fun time in the short term. What is the fucking problem with these substances, folks? We're adult humans.
There's any side effect label on any prescription medication that's the same thing that's read off of any narcotic, honestly.
Yeah.
Not to, I'm coming on
I don't
super
think, I was
anti-pharma.
gonna say,
I'm
I
just
don't
like-
think there's anything particularly different, and I come from having a classical education that is fairly close to doctoral on this.
Yes, you were about a year away from a doctorate?
Year and a half, but one of those was fully clinical.
Right.
So in terms of classroom, it was 6 months.
Yeah. Yep. So close, Brian.
Gave it all up.
Hey.
Didn't need the headache.
Yeah. No, I respect you for walking for the reasons that you walked.
Well, I really
Boy,
did.
that's tough on the pocketbook.
I didn't need the headache. The pocketbook is a rough aspect of it, but at the same time, what it really came down to was, at some point, I looked at it and I said, "Okay, I can do this,
Yep.
and I can do it for long enough to pay off the college bills,
Right.
and it could be fine." But in that same span of time, there is some non-zero chance that a medical decision that I make could kill somebody for something I don't believe in 100% anymore.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And that's not really a worth it sort of
Thank you.
place to be in with that situation.
Cocktails.
They're not very cold.
Oh, that's too bad.
They feel like they look like they're cold enough.
The blue
The
mountains.
mountains
no
are
blue.
almost blue.
They're
Mine are
blue
blue.
tint.
They're
Oh.
they're blue tinted.
Where did these come from?
Those ones from the store.
Oh,
Kudos from cousin Carl.
Oh,
No,
thank
I
you,
bought 'em.
cousin Carl.
Oh, you
for
bought 'em.
running inside
Perfect.
to grab them.
I'm gonna do this one more time, but I'm gonna put them in.
Okay, we're rolling right back into it.
It's gonna be good.
We were at pharmacy. Oh boy,
We were at.
does
pharmacy.
anyone remember what we were talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about the reasons I quit.
Okay. Okay, and then I needed a beer, and now we're talking about the
And-
reasons you quit again.
Sure, we
Okay,
can be.
Okay, you left with
So in
6
terms
months.
of the financial burden of the decision of leaving, that's like right around the 6-figure mark there, bud.
It's a burden. It's a burden. It's not impossible. You got to get on it.
Oh, it's fine. It'll get paid.
It'll
I'm not particularly concerned about it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was worth it in terms of what it doesn't mean I have to think about.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, if you don't want the responsibility, it's just
People
Nope.
change direction in
Don't
life
yeah. Just
through
don't want it.
college.
totally.
Always.
Normally not at the end of a doctorate,
Right.
but you know,
I was gonna say
sometimes.
you don't usually pour 6.5 years into something and then decide it isn't worth it.
Yeah.
They at least turn it into something else still.
But you turn it into something else, which was sports writing for a 3-year period.
Great. Which would ultimately be your
Something
passion.
along the lines of what I would envision myself doing.
Totally.
Sure. Absolutely. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The
I can't
problem-
imagine doing something like pharmacy if you really didn't love what you
Oh,
were
no.
doing. You know, you'd need
No,
to.
you wouldn't want to, because you have the responsibility of, like, every time you send out a life-threatening medication, you go, well, if this goes bad, it's my name, it's my signature
Right.
on the label.
Oh man. Yeah. No, I 100% hear you. I can't.
So if you don't, I would say if you don't believe in it, there's probably there is great monetary gain to be had. You'll have no argument
Yeah.
from me for anybody who says it was financially stupid to make that decision, but it wasn't a financial decision. It was actually like a medical decision. Like, can I make medical decisions for people
Right.
doing something I don't 100% believe in?
Right.
No, probably can't.
Yeah.
Not in good conscience.
And really, I guess it's better for you and the populace in general to come to that.
Everybody
conclusion.
else
Excuse me.
involved, it's just too bad that the institution itself took it so hard. Like
Right.
they took
So
it hard
fill
to
me-
like
fill me in
They
on-
took it hard to like a scam your name kind of
No,
level.
this is fun. So and
I
know,
do like this part of it now. It's one of the unique parts of it that you get told didn't actually happen by
I know
people who
your
don't believe it.
Parts of the story, and what I need is for you to you gotta foreshadow. Tell this story. Tell this story
Okay.
in 5 minutes or less.
'Kay.
Try and do it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
No, that's fine.
You sign up for pharmacy. I'm giving you the bullet
So
points.
right,
You
no,
sign up for pharmacy.
Did 2.5 years of it over 4 years, or 3.5, and
You start
then
wrecking your car all the time. That's like an integral part of this story.
you know that did
Okay,
happen.
yeah.
At some points, there were car accidents on the way to and from Pullman, Washington.
Yeah.
Those roads could be improved. By the way,
Right. A lot of
Ladies
people
and
drive
gentlemen.
them and don't wreck. But yeah,
I know, but I did drive them and did wreck frequently.
Okay.
At some point, I decided that I didn't want to continue pursuing a degree in pharmacy. And so I left. I came home in January of 2014.
Yeah.
And I did it in such a way that I just basically signed out of classes online. I just sort of logged out, disenrolled myself.
In everything.
Yeah.
And you didn't talk to anyone.
I didn't talk to anyone. No.
Which I love.
I didn't say a word to anyone. I just de-enrolled myself from classes and was like, okay, I'm gonna go home.
Hey, leave your foot alone.
And I did.
Dog
I left a lot of my stuff in Spokane for 2 or 3 months and went over and progressively got it over a series of weekends.
You pulled an I'm dropping freshman English move.
Yeah.
On the
On
third
a-
year
on a-
of a doctorate program.
On a 6-figure professional
yeah.
school.
Yeah. Well,
that gets you a title that most people would kill another man for.
okay. So then my favorite part. So
Or
they,
at least in terms of earning power, they would.
the school freaks out.
The school freaked out, and unbeknownst to me, because I just thought, like, in my naivete, that I would just go home to Wenatchee, I would talk to a lawyer friend, and I would have that lawyer friend tell the school, it's not okay to talk about me under any circumstances. You should treat me as if I did not exist.
Right.
And so I had a lawyer put in a request to seal my academic records, because I had also had some academic records issues before I decided to drop the whole kit and caboodle.
Yep.
And when I came back to Wenatchee, the school decided at some point after I issued the request to seal my academic records that the actual path that they should take is to contact local media and tell them that I am a danger to myself and those around me, and that I left school without talking to them, and that they don't know where I'm at or what I'm thinking or doing.
Yeah.
Did they even like try to contact you?
No, they didn't
in
try to
general be
contact
like,
me
We're
at
not going
all.
to name the radio station, but it
No,
rhymes
but it's-
with Rashmi Pugh.
Right. If you live in Wenatchee, you should know what this station is, because everyone listens to it. And I didn't hear it, but my uncle called my dad, and my mom turned the radio on, and she heard it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. I love that
It's
they
great.
made you a threat to yourself and
They,
others.
they made me a threat to myself and others,
God, they're dumb.
which is really like, you must not know me because I'm not really a threat to anyone but myself at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, you're not like that bad.
No, it's not really like, it's not an intentional threat to myself. It's more of a clumsy one.
Right.
Like I could fall down and hit my head and die.
Yeah, I do love that about
But
you
outside of that, it's like I'm not particularly a danger to myself.
You have a bigger problem with your body than you do with, like,
My
objects.
head at all.
Also. Yeah.
My head is the other thing. They called into question like my sanity.
Well,
So hey,
I have
thanks-
question in the to play devil's advocate.
Thanks,
I have
guys,
had
though, on
questions
the-
about your sanity before.
I mean, hey, so have I.
Yeah, but once a kid drops out of school, you just call them and be
Like-
like, "Hey, what's going on?
Right.
Can
you
we
should
help
you should call me or write me a letter
Oh,
or
they had
email
tried
me
to help,
or
but yes,
any of those things you could try to contact me.
Yeah, but they
Instead,
didn't call
like,
him first.
Let's do a media smear
Yeah.
campaign in your local popular news
Literally
radio
where you're
station.
living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to broadcast you over the air because we feel like this is a pissing contest that we shouldn't lose.
absolutely hilarious.
So interesting. What an interesting way to, like, go about it.
What
That
an
was,
interesting.
I feel like that was heavy-handed.
Yeah.
They could a phone call. I kept the same number. I never changed phone numbers. I would have accepted a call from anyone at the Department of Pharmacy, which I never got, by the way.
Yeah.
Any
You've
of
been like,
you, any of you could have called me,
I'm
Yeah.
just done.
but
like,
no one did. I left really without much warning, and I don't feel that I owed them much warning.
No, I
Because
don't
the
think you
funny
did
thing
either.
about my last 4 months of actual school was that was the hardest I'd worked any of the time that I was in pharmacy school, and the entire time they were hunting me down like a dog for pot offenses that had occurred in the years previous to where I was in school.
Yes, that's an integral part of this story.
That's
but
always an integral part
I
of the
wasn't going
story.
to. I was only going to make
You-
you tell
you
as
can-
much as you wanted to.
You can just let me get there.
Okay.
No, it was fine. It was I had a problem where I thought I could be like a Rasta pharmacist.
Yeah.
I was unsuccessful in
That's a
fulfilling
great
that
name.
goal. The Rasta pharmacist.
That's a great name.
There are, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but there are pharmacists out there who do smoke pot, and they do a fine job for you. I don't think they do any less job than people who don't. And so I think they should deserve your full respect.
Sure.
And you're never going to find out that they do anyways. So,
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there who smoke weed.
oh yeah.
Legalize 2020. If Trump ran on it, he'd win.
Oh,
That's the only thing I'm going to say.
I know
if,
he
if,
would.
If it was literally legalized 2020 and that's what he ran on.
If that was his platform,
Yeah.
he'd probably win in the biggest landslide you've seen since Reagan's second term election.
I think so.
He'd win probably all the states except for like California and New York and some of the
There'd be a lot
Northeast,
of
the
very-
Massachusetts, the really hardcore liberal states couldn't vote for him. But almost everything that was swing state, the stoners would come out of the woodwork and elect him in an absolute landslide.
I think there'd be a lot of very confused people in New York and California on what to do if that was his platform.
they would have no
If he
idea.
actually
I think
ran
he would lose
on
those
legalized
states,
2020.
but he wouldn't lose those states in margins. I don't think he'd lose those states in margins that Republicans haven't seen since the first
Probably.
Bush election.
Yep.
I would say.
I think he'd get a good bit of the vote.
Yeah,
There's my advice.
he'd really Oh,
At real Donald Trump, I'll tag
at
you
real
in
Donald
this.
Trump. Yeah,
I'll,
this probably doesn't matter. Giving political advice since May 2019.
Yep. Since right now,
Yeah, it's
Never
good.
again.
never again. Katie says. I thought it was
I was
decent
joking.
advice.
Oh,
That
come
was
on.
great
Decent.
advice.
Yeah.
That's advice you should all heed at home.
Yeah.
All belligerently made statements will not harm you in any way, and they will simply further your latent political careers.
Anyone who wants me on their political podcast, I'm totally willing to make an appearance.
Yeah.
You can contact me at thisprobablydoesn'tmatter@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Or from the website, thisprobablydoesn'tmatter.com. Which do keep checking frequently. Well, first of all, get on the mailing list, please.
You need to be on it because
Show
exciting events will
coming
be
up.
coming your way shortly. In June.
Thank you, Brian. In June, we have a comedian coming in June. You'll want to get on the list to get your tickets first. Boom.
You don't want to be the
Have we
first
announced
one
it
to
yet?
that.
I need to get a flyer and make a
Gotcha.
post, and yeah, I'm not gonna
Not
do it.
announced yet.
But
Cliffhanger.
yeah, he's
Dun, dun,
gonna be
dun.
good. He's gonna be very good.
It's going to be good. You're going to want to save your pennies for that one.
Yeah.
Drink lots of beer.
Yeah.
Tip your bartender.
Always.
So you where okay, can I get us back to it?
Yeah.
Couple pot charges early in your college career when everyone's supposed to smoke pot.
Yep, I sure did. I had
Okay.
one in Idaho,
Yep.
and I had one in Ritzville, Washington that was not a pot charge, but it was a driving while intoxicated charge.
Great.
Because,
Lovely.
ladies and gentlemen, I fell prey to the wiles of the synthetic marijuana,
Yeah.
which is always a horrible idea.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. So you got two charges. I'm not even
Just
gonna,
get
I'm not
yourself
even
a
gonna
pot
talk,
dealer,
I'm not
folks.
Even, I'm not even going to talk about that stuff.
No.
Spice was the most
It's really bad for you.
misguided thing that ever happened in the
You're
Northwest.
going to see all of our brain scans on the news someday.
Someday. So then the school gets a hold of them as you're trying your hardest in your last
Yeah. In the
semester
last
of your third
yeah,
year of your
the
doctorate
first
degree.
semester of the third year
Okay.
of my degree. So that was like 2.0 to 2.5 years. Got everything cleaned up, tried as hard as possible, and they were pursuing stuff that had happened the summer before
Oh,
when I was
Not even in school.
just
on
out of
a
school.
on a rotation and in less than fine condition to
Oh.
some of those days.
Sure.
I had a proclivity to show up stoned to work.
Oh.
And at some point, they
You
they,
gonna let all this out here? You're gonna do
they
this
got
too?
word of that because I had a habit of beating on my car door in frustration.
Right. As some
And
people
so,
do.
as some people do.
Katie's looking like she beats on her car door in frustration all the
Some
time.
people
No, I don't.
have a way of expressing their emotion that scares elderly women in the parking lot of a hospital.
Okay.
That
so
then
you,
gets reported to your institution, who wonders if you are a crazy person.
I love it. I love that happens. Brian, that's the best thing. So,
No
Because
wonder
they
why they
definitely
called
asked
out you.
me to come in to Spokane off of a vacation that I was having.
yeah, what I love is that this is making the fact that they called Shmei P. Shoe a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
You're losing some of your audience right now.
Oh, if I have not already lost all of you, then you have entirely too much faith in me and my ability to judge situations circa 2012 to
Okay.
14.
Okay.
Because I had no ability to judge those situations or make good decisions, at least in a financial sense. I may have made a good psychological decision to drop out of school, but it was a really bad one financially.
Well, everyone, especially after the parking lot incident, is thankful that you are not pushing pills on their children, which is literally how
They-
you introduced yourself.
they should
I
be,
love
and
it.
and that was absolutely how I should
Here.
introduce myself.
So it was never.
I was
never
almost
meant for you.
a drug dealer for your children, and I would like to take a collective congratulations with the rest of society
Yeah.
that I'm not doing that.
We appreciate that. So, what is your family's heritage? Where's DeShazo?
DeShazo?
Yeah, is that a particularly fiery lineage you're from?
Yeah, it's
What are you guys?
it's Italy by way of Arkansas.
You're Italian via Arkansas.
Yeah, via Arkansas.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
It's-
I'm trying to find the temper because I do actually remember in high school
That's where the
watching
temper
you,
is.
You punched a brick wall once.
I did. Yeah. There
Which
was
is-
a
for the podcast listener.
there was a-
hold on, shut up, Brian. For the podcast listener that does not know Brian, He is like that of maybe 4 matchsticks arranged inside of a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. I guess it'd be 5. It'd be like 5 matchsticks arranged within a t-shirt.
Okay. I like it. It seems like an apt description so far.
Not the most physically
Gifted individual.
No, I wasn't going to use gifted. I wasn't going to use gifted.
No.
Yeah, okay, but we get the point now. So you have the temper that will make you punch a brick wall, which is in of itself really incredible. And then
I have a temper that's almost Sicilian and a frame that is, it should never, I have a frame that should never match the temper that I have.
You have a frame that really shouldn't have ever gotten out of the cancer ward.
Exactly.
So,
Oh my God.
I
That's
basically
so
look
mean.
like an AIDS patient
No,
in
you
terms
don't.
of scrawniness. And then if I was ever to get in a fight, that would be a really poor decision because I would be just thrown against a brick wall and have the shit beaten out of me immediately.
I'm sorry for turning this into the roast of Brian. So
that's a correct assessment, though.
So the old lady in the parking lot need not have been worried because she might have one-upped you, even without the masonry.
the
person.
lady
She
could've
probably
taken you
would
on.
have won a fight with me if there had been anything to fight about in the parking lot. I can't imagine having been able to strike an old woman with enough force to actually win that bout had it come to blows, which I would certainly hope that it never would if I was in uniform, which I was, which was also not a good reason to be acting out and wailing upon my car door.
Right. So we learned things. We definitely learned things from that. However,
we
it
learned
does get
that it's not
reported-
okay to act in an intoxicated manner that scares patients at your local establishment.
Right. It gets back to school.
Yeah.
They don't love it.
They don't love it. They
don't
dragged
love-
me in off vacation to ask me why on earth I was acting like an absolute hoodlum
Okay.
at my place of internship. And I gave an answer that was apparently satisfactory to keep my ass enrolled in school and not one that was satisfactory to keep them from shining flashlights up and down my ass every chance they got.
Figuratively.
Figuratively.
Oh, okay.
Metaphorically.
It'd be fun if it was physically. Yeah, okay. So
Right. I was never cavity searched via flashlight.
Perfect.
But I wanted to give you all that metaphor so that you can feel how my last 3.5 months, 4 months of school felt like.
Right.
So what did you say to them? What was your excuse?
What was my excuse?
Yeah. Do you
did we not
do you
even ask
remember?
that?
I think my excuse was like stress and anxiety. I don't think I ever admitted to any.
Like you put it to a medical term
Yeah.
almost.
Well, yeah. That's my excuse for not having a podcast.
Yeah,
up in the
well, I
last
think
2
mine
weeks.
was like, hey, I'm anxious
Medical.
and mildly crazy. Please don't throw me out of school.
Please make me a pharmacist.
Right.
Hey, I'm not quite right in the head. I'm going to be a pharmacist.
I'm not quite right in the noggin, but I still kind of want this gig where I have a legal ability to hand out drugs to people.
So why
You
don't
should
you go
not
into
throw
the
me out of
pot
school.
world?
Yeah.
You should now. Like that's
We're
exactly.
all
where you
very
fit.
glad that you're out of school. Everyone is very
Oh,
glad that you're out of school.
I'm increasingly happy as I get older that I'm not paying any money to further the higher education
Sure.
sham,
Sure.
whatever it is.
Well,
Go-
I mean, we do need
go to
doctors. That's
go
a
to
real
a
thing.
go to a trade school.
Yes, for the average person.
Get one of those degrees.
I agree with
Learn
that.
a skill.
For the average person, I absolutely.
Don't waste your money drinking in a fraternity, especially not a Christian one that you can't get along with.
Totally.
Okay.
Ryan, lots of college stories.
They're the
save
best
them.
I
stories.
think everyone has best
We'll save them.
college
Yeah,
stories.
we'll save them for another one. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be back with Sports in 90, the 90-second sports segment that you all love. All right,
love it.
All right. And we're going again. We're back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the This Probably Doesn't Matter podcast.
Boom.
And we're gonna go straight into it. So Brian is our sports knowledgeable guest.
Yep.
And so in tribute to that, we're gonna do the Sports in 90 Seconds segment without any background music because my laptop that I run my board off of took a little dump on me. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. What can go 90 seconds? Woo!
All right. The Milwaukee Bucks took a 3-1 series lead over the Boston Celtics in the NBA playoffs this afternoon with a 113-101 win. The San Jose Sharks will try to defend a 3-2 series lead against the Colorado Avalanche this evening at 7 o'clock Pacific time.
All right, that game will have been done already. So we're going to go to yesterday. The Giants come back from a 4-0 deficit to win the game 6-5 in the ninth. That 4-run deficit in the first inning was given on 3 back-to-back pitches for home runs. Brian, back at ya.
Ooh, I got one.
Katie's
Go
got
for it.
hers.
This day in history, in 1903, Chicago White Sox commit 12 errors against the Detroit Tigers.
Okay.
Ouch.
In 1915, Red Sox Babe Ruth pitched debut and first home run loses to the Yanks 4-3 in the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1917, St. Louis Bob Brown Groom no-hits Chicago White Sox for a 3-0.
Right.
And in 1921, American Soccer League forms.
Okay.
Interesting.
Perfect. Brian, take us home.
And yesterday in the NBA, a pair of teams forced 2-2 ties in their series. The Toronto Raptors with a 101-96 win over the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Denver Nuggets with a 116-112 win over the Portland Trail Blazers.
Boom.
All right.
I kind of like it if I do the sports in history.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
easy.
that's great.
I
That's
dig
cool.
it.
Okay, there was some sports for you in 90 seconds
I like it.
without a cool background beat, but
Right, and since
did
we
it
don't
anyway.
have any cool background beat, let's continue the sports talk with a discussion of the Kentucky Derby from this weekend.
oh yeah. Can you fill up?
Fill us in.
Can you fill in the listener?
Yeah, I can fill in the listener. The race was run at its normal distance. The first horse to finish was Maximum Security, and after a 22-minute video examination, the Board of Regents of Churchill Downs disqualified Maximum Security.
The winning horse.
The winning horse.
Okay.
The,
For reasons of pulling into the lane of another horse mid-race. Okay.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
and say I'm not a huge Kentucky Derby guy, so I don't know. Is it unprecedented?
It is unprecedented.
Like
This
it's
is
never
the first
happened.
time in
Yeah.
145 races
Wow.
that they've disqualified the winner for an in-race racing infraction.
Were
Okay.
people just like so pissed and lost a ton of money on that?
Yeah, there were
We were just talking about this earlier today.
total of
gambling.
$9 million lost on a certain
God.
website, and they estimate that the total losses are closer to $42 million for people that
Is that
bet
on?
Maximum
That's on
Security.
payout. That's on the payout
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
What was their rank? Wait, what was their line on that horse? Do you know?
That horse?
Yeah, on the one that should have won.
I think
Was
that one
supposed to
was
win.
like 1 to 4.5.
Okay,
And the
so not
horse-
huge.
No, but the horse that ended up winning was
Yes.
a 1 to 65 underdog.
Super huge.
Super huge
Interesting.
underdog.
So you know, for as many people are pissed off, there are a couple of crazy bettors out there.
That
Oh,
are
God.
really, really happy that their bet just paid off in an incredibly lucrative way.
What's
Yeah.
$1,000 on that? It's on
$1,000
64,
bucks on that?
64,000.
It's $64,000
Yeah.
on a $1,000 bet.
Come on.
Hell yeah.
You can't help but be happy about a 22-minute controversial decision that everyone will be talking for quite some time.
Yeah.
You know, people were shitting their pants, like
Oh, yeah.
waiting for this call.
Absolutely.
Freaking the fuck out.
There was a lot of money on the horse that actually won. There probably was a whole lot less money from bettors made on the horse that was eventually declared the winner.
Right. You think there's still like mob action in all of this horse racing?
Oh, in the Kentucky Derby? Probably. I was going to say at the highest levels of the sport, yeah, I think there's probably still
some sort of
illegal gambling of some
yeah.
kind.
Yeah.
It's also one of the biggest things for people all over the country to
A lot of people
celebrate.
watch. Yeah.
And
Oh,
I mean, it's a big
there's-
thing.
There's a ton of people that watch. We actually had a really, really busy 2 days here in Wenatchee because we had the Kentucky Derby and we had
Apple Blossom.
Apple Blossom
Same day.
main Grand Parade Saturday.
Yep.
And then the following day we had Cinco de Mayo.
Little Cinco de Mayo action.
Little
Yeah,
Cinco
quite the weekend.
de Drinko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a weekend. I did take 2 long naps this weekend, and both of them resulted with me waking up feeling far worse than I did when I went to sleep. So there's that.
Yeah. But I did wake up
Just
today
an
feeling
unsuccessful nap strategy.
very rested.
Good. Well, I'm glad you did. It was a great weekend. Yeah.
My naps were great. They were long and prosperous.
Oh, shout out to the Radar Dames burlesque show, because that
Yeah.
was,
How was that?
you know,
I was.
full disclosure, I didn't think it was going to be my thing.
I didn't partake in it.
I was fully entertained the entire time.
It was
Oh,
very
good.
good. Very well put together. They kept the crowd entertained at
Yep.
all times.
Yep.
And there
I
was
was-
never really a dull moment. And
I was entertained the entire time. So,
yeah, it was good. They
thanks-
had great
A
crowds.
burlesque show
this'll
gets
be
the
out
2
first.
thumbs up.
this will be out first, but thanks Danny and Amanda.
Yeah.
Who you'll hear in the podcast
And it's
after
of the
this.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, coming up.
Yeah.
For having us down there. That was a ton of fun. So,
Love them.
They'll be up in episode 12, which you can catch at thisprobablydoesn'tmatter.com.
thank you for the plug there, Brian.
On
So,
the next episode.
Kentucky Derby, first time, 110 years. 110?
I think it was like 145.
145 years.
And this is the
Well, this
first
day
time
in
that
history
they've.
has,
This is the first
like-
time that they've DQ'd the winner for an in-race infraction.
Oh,
They disqualified a winner for a doping infraction in 1968.
okay.
And they also unsuccessfully appealed the race result. And that is the final word on this, is that Maximum Security's team has appealed the race result,
Yep.
and it has been denied
Yep.
by the committee at Churchill Downs. So the
Love it. That's it.
the winner is who it is, and I don't think I've said the name of the winner yet.
Frantically searching
Gimme-
for it.
Give me two seconds as I frantically search for who the winner was.
I got it.
Katie's got it already.
Who was it?
She doesn't have it. She's just saying she did. You know what I did this afternoon?
I thought I did.
I binged Live PD, and I
Oh, it
can't
was
believe-
145 years. I love it.
I can't believe how much better Live PD is
Country
than
House.
Cops ever was.
Country House
Okay, that's just my
was
whole thing.
was the
Just
winner.
saying.
Was,
That's
Country
pretty
House
good.
was declared the winner of the Kentucky Derby after a very controversial ending. Some people did not enjoy it.
Yep.
Those people probably had money on it.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
fuck them. Hey, it's horse racing. These things happen
Yeah.
at lower levels, and there's no reason why they shouldn't happen at even the highest levels of the sport if they think there's been an infraction worthy of this. Now, I didn't see it, so I don't know.
Yeah, probably doesn't matter.
And it probably doesn't matter.
So,
Yeah.
And that's how we'll
Definitely
gracefully or unso exit this situation.
yeah. Well, we're gonna go yet again. No sound effect, Brian. To one of my favorite.
You don't have it
segments.
anymore. But just for you.
Yeah. Is that your lightning?
That's
Yeah.
whiplash.
That's the worst. Like,
That's really bad.
okay. As we've just blown out.
There was
pairs
some
of headphones.
thunder. Yeah.
Blowing out headphones. All right, with
We
no
hate your
techno.
headphones and we want them gone.
Here you go. Ready?
Yeah.
I have 4 of them for you.
Go for it.
All right. Never listen to jazz again, or never listen to any Grateful Dead again. I'm putting a whole genre up against your Grateful Dead.
I gotta stick with the Grateful Dead.
You're staying
it's
with
too
them.
good.
You're
Yep.
giving jazz up.
It's
Okay.
too good.
Involuntarily swear throughout your entire next job interview, or involuntarily swear at your grandmother for the next month.
I'm probably gonna screw up one job interview.
Okay, going for the job interview. Not surprising me about you.
I just can't. I just can't look Grandma in the face after saying the fuck word
Yeah.
to her a whole bunch of times.
Yeah. Never watch baseball again. Never watch golf again.
Oh, I'm sorry, baseball. There's been too many Mariners disappointments for me to want to stick with it and miss every golf major every year.
Brian's taking golf.
I'm going with golf. I
Okay.
gotta stick
Good for
with
you.
it.
Show
I
up.
think I made the right decision.
Show up completely naked at the next public event you go to.
Woo!
And you stay that way until you are physically removed and you're not able to break stride or character the whole time. Okay, so you're there, you're looking like you're
just
supposed
there,
to be there.
just naked.
Okay.
Just looking like a statue.
Or Just one time.
Okay.
I don't know, for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes. It's like, you're going to be dropped in to a large tub filled with angry king crabs.
God.
I'll take the king crab pincer torture
Oh, boy.
for 200, Alex.
Oh, wow. Just without thinking about it?
Yeah,
It's
I will
be...
absolutely. I'll take king crab pincer torture. Maybe I can talk him out of it.
You can't talk them out of it.
I think I could.
You don't speak
I
crab,
really do.
And they're pissed off.
I think I can. I think I can talk them out of hurting me physically. I do. It may be a misplaced confidence, but I really think I can get it done.
No, it definitely is. You would get... I think you could die.
Believe
Is that,
it
is that
does.
accurate?
I think I don't know. I just made the question.
Could I
up. don't
die?
know. Yeah, I think you could die.
I mean, where would they have to stab me to kill
They
me?
pinch you.
Well,
I know they would pinch me, but where
Well,
would they have to?
Yeah, but even
Penetrate.
then, you don't have all of them around you. You'd only have.
Where would
maybe-
they? Where would they
pinch.
have to penetrate to really end my life? Would it be like jugular vein sort of stuff?
No, I think you get into a whole vat full of them, and they just start pinching. It's death by 1,000 cuts. I pinch. You could really, you could lose it.
I don't know. It's weird to think
Yeah, we
about.
pinch you, sir.
Yeah,
It's kind of creepy.
just one time. You go to an event one time naked.
No, I can't.
What would you do?
I'm really ugly naked.
Well,
I'd love to have the confidence to be like, "Hey, everyone, look at me," but I'd prefer not to. I'll take death by 1,000 crabs.
it's funny. I think I would initially say the 1,000 crabs, but then if you gave me the option where I could actually look over this half-filled tank of king crab, I don't know. I'm picking aggressive.
Do you think it would
crab. I
be
don't
too
know what it
much
is.
crustacean for you to handle?
I do think you could die. So then you may as well just go one time in public.
I mean, you certainly will not die from one bout of public nudity.
No,
but it will be extremely embarrassing.
You get booked, and probably you talk your entire way out of the thing. Like, I didn't even know I was there.
Hey, I'm off my medications, and my pharmacist should be alerted immediately. I think he needs to retitrate my Xenophalifilil.
Yeah. I think what's the
Which
sleep?
is
what's the sleep pill? What's the sleep pill?
Ambien.
Yeah.
Zolpidem tartrate.
Is that the active? Look at
Yeah,
Brian.
it's
Look
good
at Brian.
stuff. It's real healthy for you. It'll make you see colors and make food in the middle of the night, and you'll feel like a freak and call the police.
Did they
on
ever
yourself.
give you an Ambien story in pharmacy school?
They did, because I took Ambien in pharmacy school
Okay.
for a time that I couldn't sleep because my exams were stressful.
What's the horror story that I haven't heard?
There is no horror story. I ate 3 of them and walked around back roads of Pullman with no negative side effects and also not much hallucination to speak of.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go.
The coconut crab is the most dangerous.
The coconut crab. Okay, so it's a tank of
So
the
it's a
coconut
tank
crab.
full of coconut crabs.
Can you tell us about it at all?
I'm gonna do it because I think that they'll be delicious and they'll taste like coconut.
Yes.
The claws of coconut crabs can pinch with the strongest force of any crustacean, also exceeding the bite force of most land animals,
Wow.
according to Japanese science.
Okay.
I dig it.
Study.
It sounds less deadly than crocodiles, so I'll go for
In
it.
fact, coconut crabs share a common ancestor with the hermit crab.
Well, the old hermit.
Ye old hermit crab.
So the coconut crab for I don't know how long it is. It's for a couple minutes. You're going in there for a couple minutes.
I'm going in there.
I will let you defend yourself, I guess, the whole time if you can punch them.
I think they'll be delicious.
You're
I'll be attempting to eat them the entire time. I'll be teeth out.
Would you break a tooth if you just tried to bite into a crab, do you
I
think?
don't know. Just a wild crab. Just pick one up with your hand and attempt to bite through it.
Like alive. Katie, do you think, are they softer?
It doesn't seem like they'd be very soft.
I don't know. Depends if it's cooked or not.
Well, of course it's not cooked. We're picking them up right out of the tide pool.
I think you.
Should I be wary of broken teeth? That's
you
the
are.
real question
I think you
here.
are. I think they're just as hard. I think they're as hard all the time. I'm pretty sure
Says
it's a
this
bone.
they're soft.
Oh, soft
Are
shell.
they soft?
Oh, great.
All right.
Brian, you could eat your
They
way out of it.
sound delicious. I feel like I could eat my way out of this situation. I'm absolutely going with the vat full of crabs.
Okay, that's fair enough. That is what I have for the lightning round.
I like it.
Man, there's really interesting stuff if you looked up, can a king crab kill you?
Can a king crab kill you?
I don't know. It's
Can
really
it?
all very interesting. No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, no, I'm not talking. We were never talking about one by itself, though. So
No, we were talking about a gang of them. Can they make
several.
enough of a dent in your soft, visceral sort of area?
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
It would hurt like a motherfucker. That's
Yeah,
all.
I agree.
I did have a news item that I thought you might find interesting.
All right, let's throw it in here.
The Philippines has threatened Canada because Canada sailed some tanker ships over to the Philippines filled with garbage.
Okay.
And the dictator of the Philippines says that if Canada does not get rid of said garbage tankers, he is going to declare war on Canada.
Okay.
And this is the most that I've ever felt like the
Wow.
news has felt like a South Park episode.
Wow.
Maybe in my lifetime.
So what did? Do you have more? Do you have more for me?
I do.
Was Canada just going to leave them there? What was the plan with the ships?
Canada's leader, Justin Trudeau, has assured the Philippines that he has a plan for removing the garbage tankers.
Okay. So a couple garbage tankers.
Outside of the threat of war, I believe.
And
My real question would be if the Philippines did declare war on Canada over garbage shipping containers, would they win this war?
Of course not.
And of course not.
What? Canada has a pretty real military.
They do.
I'm fairly certain.
And this story is published April 23rd. Philippines Duarte gives Canada 1 week to take back garbage or, quote, we will declare war.
Okay.
Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte on Tuesday reportedly threatened to declare war against Canada within the next week if the country fails to remove tons of garbage that were previously shipped to Manila.
Got it. Okay. So there's no way.
There's
it would have
absolutely
to, all
zero chance of war over this.
be all symbolic. A declaration of war.
We're going to do... It sounds like a pissing contest in South Park. We're going to declare war on your country.
On the Canadians.
Yeah.
Of all people.
Which is why it sounds like South Park.
Yeah.
We're going to declare war on Canada because no one thinks they're great.
I'm going to sound like a total dumbass. But
not right, but yes.
What war has Canada been involved in?
I'm not sure they've ever been involved in any war.
That's what I'm wondering. I don't remember of any history of Canada.
I don't know that they really fought in the world wars. And apologies to Canada's military if you did and I missed it.
I just don't know if I've ever.
I'm not going to look it up.
Search
I'm going to leave
also.
it at that.
Okay, hold on.
You can look it up.
I can do
if you'd
this.
like.
Canadian War. Is that what
Yeah.
you like? You can look
Yeah,
up.
I'd like to know what wars Canada was involved in.
Let's.
Where did you defend
They
the greater
surely
cause of
send.
freedom across
They
the
surely
world?
send.
It says
people.
World War One.
Okay.
They surely
Well,
send people to war.
Thank you for fighting in World War I, Canada. We do appreciate you helping us defeat the Germans.
Yeah, any Canadian historian listening who is getting upset right now,
Right.
please feel free to come on the podcast.
You can come on here and correct us. We don't know.
So
I don't know anything. I failed out of pharmacy school on purpose.
Yes. Okay.
So.
They also were in the Second Boer War.
Oh yeah, Boer Wars were South Africa.
Right.
That was the Dutch settlers of South Africa fighting against local tribes people.
Oh, so just a bunch of merchant marine stuff.
1860s and 70s, like initial race for Africa, European race for Africa sort of stuff.
Got it.
And Canada was in war with North Korea in 1950 and 1956.
Oh, so they
with
helped
us.
fight in the Korean
Yes.
War. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
hey, thank you for helping fight in the Korean War. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
25,000 fought and 516 died.
Okay.
Only.
Well, yeah.
We appreciate your 516 dead.
Yes.
Moment of silence for them.
Oh, Canada.
Okay. I feel like this is getting...
That is not silence. And I love every single second of it. Yes, please.
Sorry, I
I
have
feel
to.
like we were getting really patronizing before that even happened, and then that happens. Okay,
We
I
don't
don't-
want to start any international incidents.
Yeah.
So we love you, Canada.
I
We
don't
really-
think there's a better way to
Well, I was
wrap up.
thinking
We
that
appreciate your
anthem.
sport of hockey.
Yeah,
It's a really
Yeah.
nice sport. I
Okay.
sometimes like watching the Sharks lose.
great. I don't think there's a better way to wrap up the podcast than what just happened. Honestly,
We love you guys.
We love all of you out there, our
Yeah.
listeners, our Canadian listeners especially. Katie, my wife, thank you for being here. Our guest is Brian DeShazo.
It's been real, folks.
Check out thisprobablydoesn'tmatter.com. Hop on that mailing list.
You can trust
please.
your pharmacist because I'm not one of them.
Immediatamente. Get on that.
Have a good time, guys.
Have a great night.
Yeah, and as always, this probably doesn't matter.
Goodbye.
Hey.